this just in. A citywide ritual has commenced. Read all about it in the New York Oracle.
For a game still very early in its development, Deadlock has some of the most compelling lore and world building that I've ever seen. The game takes place in a noir New York City during what seems like the late 1940s Prohibition mixed with the occult supernatural. However, not limited to this, as there are many various creative liberties, and this is evident in some character designs, such as Shiv, with his very Elvis-like hair reminiscent of greasers from the 50s, or Billy, being very inspired off of the 70s punk scene. So far, this MOBA shooter fusion has already hooked me in with its imaginative characters and settings, so much that I wanted to dive into it some more. For today's video on lore, I wanted to answer some questions from the perspective that we, the players, get in-game. Why are these characters fighting? Who are the patrons that speak to us? And why do these two teams need to destroy the other patron? This is the core conflict in the game's story, and to provide context, I'll start with the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is a celestial event that happened during an eclipse that essentially presented the supernatural to the mortal world.
Once an eclipse changed the world. Who knows what today's celestial event will bring?
There are two Maelstroms. The first happened in 1899. During this eclipse, something known as the Astral gates were opened up around various parts of the world. One of our heroes, Dynamo, is a leading researcher and professor on these very gates, but he learned the hard way the power of what these gates had, as being one of the very first to interact with a gate that had spawned in Central Park. The force and energy of the gate warped and atomized his physical body and reduced his spirit into a tiny dying star. In current in-game day, Dynamo has figured out a way to house his soul in a body he created, but continues his research on these powerful gates.
It's okay, I've grown used to this body. I can wait another 50 years.
As of right now, some of the known gates are located in the Arctic Circle, rumored by Kelvin, the Bermuda Triangle, Puerto Rico, somewhere in Europe, the plain of Ixia, which is the home of characters such as Abrams and Infernus, even though Infernus was born and raised in the US, and as mentioned prior, one in New York. Emitting massive amounts of energy, these gates connected this world to other planes of existence and have been one of the causes of introducing the world to supernatural beings and paranormal activity. This is not the first occurrence of mystical elements happening on Earth, but was rather the biggest unveiling of this to the rest of the world. In the game's present day, the second Maelstrom is about to occur in what is estimated to be 1949. This solar eclipse is actually present in-game by looking up at the sky. During a Maelstrom event, contact can be made with extraplanar elder gods known as the Patrons. We know these two as the massive talking heads in our bases. The Patrons are telepathic beings communicating with the heroes in hopes of manipulating them into doing their bidding. Creatively, this tie-in is how the Patrons are also our narrators during a match.
This is your chance, Professor. Summon me and reclaim your humanity.
You're lost, Ivy. Directionless. But I see beyond what your heart wants. I see what you need. Summon me.
These gods were being supported in their planes by organizations seeking to summon them during the Maelstrom event. These orgs are known as the Order of the Sapphire Flame and the Order of the Amber Hand, which, if you recognized, are our two in-game teams. The two organizations were originally intended to protect our world from the Patrons, but with the coming of the second Maelstrom, they've since shifted their objectives into utilizing the power of the Patrons for themselves. Using the powers of the two teams and the enhanced paranormal activity of the Maelstrom, the Patrons seek to be fully summoned into the physical world by completing what is known as the ritual. The goal of the ritual involves destroying the opposing patron, preventing the other from fully entering this plane. A match of Deadlock is essentially our heroes' participation in the ritual. The Patrons form a covenant between 6 heroes with the promise of fulfilling a single wish to each in return for fully manifesting itself into our realm. As of right now, there are 32 different heroes with many more on the horizon. Each hero and the groups that they align with have many different reasons and agendas into why they're participating in the ritual to begin with. Some see it as an opportunity to seize power, while others are hoping to protect the city. Of course, there is no right reason for their involvement, and many characters have very detailed backgrounds that lead up to the moment of the ritual. For example, we have Seven, an escaped prisoner with the power to control electrical currents, and also fascinated with astral gates. His wish is to ascend and potentially reach a godlike status with unbound power.
So what do you do?
Strive for apotheosis.
That's a big word.
Indeed.
What's it mean?
Once we summon the patron, you'll see for yourself.
versus Warden. Warden was trained since birth for one purpose: to stop the patrons from entering our world. He's willing to sacrifice it all because he's convinced that stopping the patrons will protect humanity at all cost.
The patrons must be stopped, no matter the cost. My family failed to protect this city once before. It cannot happen again. The patrons will herald the end of humanity if we let them.
Every character seems to have a unique reason for participating. Mind you, as with the state of the game, what is canon to the story is without a doubt subject to change. Many things may be workshopped, given more context, or even scrapped, but as of right now, in late September of 2025, this is what we know of.
Could today be the day where humanity makes contact with the Patron? Only time will tell. Read our exclusive interview with Professor Dynamo to hear his thoughts on astral gates, the eclipse, and what it's like to live life without a body. Who says the future is unwritten? Purchase your copy of the New York Oracle today.
And that was just a glimpse of the story of Deadlock. I had a lot of fun making this video, so if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because this was just an ounce of the lore I want to get into, and I'm hoping to get into so much more of it. Again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.